Hello and welcome to a beautiful day in Wicklow. I am down at an absolutely stunning river. I've got a gravel bar, potential for gold there. Got another gravel bar where I came in, potential for gold there. See two little streams coming in, merging together, and they actually merge to a main river. So the plan at the moment is I'm going to do some test panning. I also need to find a nice quiet place in the river to dig out a little panning pool here, so that's one option. So in terms of equipment, I have I won't say the basics, but I have enough here. I've got 1/4 inch classifier, 1/2 inch classifier, gold pan, a jumper, hat, shovel, a pitchfork, the cultivator and my sucker tube. I have my bag with my lunch in it, camera bag, and I've got 3 buckets plus a 2-gallon for dumping in water. You imagine this place in flood, you can see it already. Look, this is the nice slow side of the bend, the slow side of the river, fast side of the river, fast side of the river. So we want the slow drop off. Put a few rocks here. I'd certainly start with here. What I'd do is get the cultivator in here, rake through a section here. When I find the best gold, I'll set up the sluice box, screen it with the 1/4 inch and run it on through. Right, let's go find the shiny. So what I'm going to first of all try is this little trench here. You see where, look, there's a small amount of flow here. Got the main river coming across, or there's the joining river, main river there. Good bit of water, small bit of water, tiny bit of water. This is the slow part of the river. Handy when there's low flow, you can tell very easily where the small part of the river is. Okay, we're getting into some clay there. Might even be a bit too thick, this clay. Get much out of that. Like, clay can act as a false bedrock, and clay can be a good location to find gold. But sometimes, that's not too bad. But sometimes you find that it's just too hard. You could spend, there's one place I worked recently and it took me an hour and a half just to fill 1 bucket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a sample from here, and the reason being that I potentially think there might be more gravel on top. And yes, the gravel right here might be, hey, well, only contain flood gold, but at least we get something. Ah yeah, that's much better. That's grand. Going with the 1/2 inch for the test pan, because it doesn't really matter if there's big rocks in it, I'll pan it. Whereas when I'm using the sluice box, I'll use the 1/4 inch, because it matters what the size of the rocks are. Something I noticed I did in my last video was I done that clean the pan thing, but I done that clean pan option. I done it in the pool that I was panning into. I cleverly enough left the trowel in the car today. Brought everything except the trowel. Right, so we can have a look, see where we're at. That's probably good enough. The rest of that bucket. A bit of water from here. A bit of water. Make sure it's just water, not gravel. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're down to that small amount too. Oh! Oh, brilliant start to the day. Oh, that's gold. Oh, that's nice! Right, so I have the sluice box set up. It's not running perfectly. It might not look very good, but when you throw some 1/4 inch gravel through, it works fine. Oh my god, that test pan I done earlier. I tested it right out of here. Came back over with just the bucket, classifier, shovel and pan. Pan's back over there. I tested it. Oh wow. 3 pieces of gold. Same size as what we had earlier on. Right, so there's 1/2 inch on top, right, like this. Bringing this on down. 1/2 inch is done. Right, bounce, 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 spin it. Bounce, 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 spin it. Bounce and spin it a few times. And we're clean. Boom, done. This is lightning fast. As with previous days, I don't have the tripod with me today. I only have the head mount, which is easier for me because it means I don't have to set up the shot. I don't have to, get everything perfectly ready. I can just simply go, right, let's go. In fact, the head mount itself actually fits in the same bag as the camera. So even from a transport perspective, it's much easier. And here we are, Sunday. And by the way, happy 4th of July to all of my prospectors across the pond. I don't have any fireworks, but hopefully by the end of today I'll have a lot of gold to inspire you to keep going and keep digging more ground. Oh, that's getting deep real fast. Excellent stuff. It's important throughout the day to be constantly test panning. So we'll just take the 1/4 inch out of the way for a second. Just want to rinse out the pan. Don't mind there's any gold in it, I just want to rinse it in there so it doesn't disrupt the sample. Take a sample from nice and deep, just one shovel, just to be sure we're still on the gold. This ground is getting very loose. It's not as compacted as it was a minute ago. That'll do. Just gonna put the classifier off to the side for a second. Nice dark material. Not a whole lot of material for one shovel. That seems the majority of material there is huge. Now, pan was clean, classifier was clean, shovel was coming out of that hole. I have seen a good bit of black sand there. Get a little bit more water in. Seen a good bit of black sand. Yeah, we've got gold. One, we can't even see it, 1 microdot. Gold right about there. Okay, not as much gold as the last time, but we've still got gold even at that altitude, even at that level in the bucket. So that's good. Right, I'm going to crack on with this, fill more buckets, and I'll come back to you when I'm feeding the Sluicebox. Wait a minute. Okay, so you can see I've got pretty much a full bucket. So you can see here with the flow I have set up with all the rocks, I've managed to use the cultivator, drag them on back, created a lovely V in the water, almost created like a waterfall. There's a lot of water coming through there. Whatever state it's in now is what state it's in for the rest of the day. So I've got 1/2 inch material. Let's see how this gets on. That works fine. No problems at all. With this particular mat, you just want to make sure that the front riffles are clean. Or mind the end of it. Once the front riffles aren't packed up, you can just dump more material in there. That bucket's eventually going to fall over, which is fine. I'll just pick it up from there. Yeah, that'll live for now. So you can see where there's a little bit of material left in the bottom of the bucket. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pan that. And the reason I'm going to pan what's in the bottom of the bucket is I want to be sure that we're still on the gold. There's no point in sluicing material that hasn't got gold in it. So we're not going to be too gentle with this. This is just the bottom of the bucket. Just going to have a look. Every time I find any gold throughout the day, I just put it into the bucket that's shown to be sluiced. It's just to save on time, really. Unless I have the snuffer bottle with me, then I'll pick it up. Otherwise, I'll just put it in the bucket because I trust the Sluicebox. I know it's going to catch it. A lot of black sand. Any gold? That's unusual. Interesting, so there's no gold in that. Okay, I'm going to work away with that Gonna widen the hole as opposed to going down. I think we just got to the bottom of the clay there. No gold. Because I've done that before. Bring along the auger, bring along a pitchfork, bring along a bar, try and break down through the clay. There's no gold through the clay, at the bottom of the clay. So you can reach the clay, you've reached the bottom. It's like bedrock, it falls bedrock. Okay, so I've managed to run a grand total of 7 buckets through the sluice. Gonna get this cleaned out, see how much shiny's in it. Hopefully loads. First part of the sluice, put it in the bucket, bring it up here. As you've probably seen with this one before, hold down the top of the bolt, bring that on down, rinse it as best we can. There's still something in it, that's not done yet though. A bit left in here. That looks fine. Oops, we don't want to lose that bucket. Get back here, you bucket. No, thank you. Don't lose that bucket. Yeah. Always best to do one on the bank anyway. Just water now. So what's in there is the pans. Anytime I found gold in a pan earlier, I just dumped it in the bucket, just so I wouldn't have to keep going back and forth to the snuffer bottle. So that's where the sluice was. Actually, you know what? I'll just use the pool that I was digging in because I'm going to be filling this hole in anyway. It's I won't say where it is, but it's in a public place. We'll call it that way. See what we have. Up. Come back here, you. That's one of the biggest problems I've had all day. Things trying to float away. One thing I love about the dream mat is the amount of cons you end up with. Even with the full-size dream mat, it's not a whole lot of material. It's that. Too much in there. Right, I'll tell you what to do. Actually, yeah, just to make life easy, I've got to go down to the deep water because it's a lot easier down there. Oh, look at the amount of black sand. Lads, I have to bring over the light here. Look, before I even pan it, look at the amount of black sand. I have a feeling this is going to be a good day. I'll say there are members of the public nearby, so I don't want to be too loud because everyone will come running and go, "Oh, hey, there's gold here." We don't want that. Right. Be really slow about this one because we have loads of black sand. I just changed the battery in the camera a minute ago, so there's no rush with that in that regard. Back, rattle. 1, 2, 3. Bring everything back. 1, 2, 3. Rattle. 1, 2, 3. That loop. Oh, hold on a second. That's a lot of gold. Hold on. Oh. Having to hold my breath here while I scream. This is a lot of gold. Look at that. That's from 6 buckets, all tied up in black sand. I think it must be sitting on a different tectonic plate. Like I'm suddenly in Canada or California. That is a lot of black sand. I'm some of it out. Because when gold is in black sand, it's very hard to get it out. You got to go really slow. Good bit of lead shot, but that's understandable because people fish down here. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually take all of these cons. So I'll take whatever gold I can snuff her out. And the rest of the stuff I'm going to put in a bucket, bring it home, and pan it again. Wow. Yeah. That is nice. There's more gold inside the black sand as well. Found a good bit of gold and had a good day out. Didn't run as many buckets as I wanted to, but I think it could also be the fact that I just haven't been out in so long in terms of being able to just moving that amount of material. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and sure, I'll catch you next one. Bye bye. Okay, as much as I'm worn out, reclamation is important. So that's reclamation complete. Rather than having to go down where the Sluicebox was and dig up all the tailings that I put through and bring them on back down, I just figured it'd be just as easy with the rake. So I just used the cultivator and just dragged all the rocks into here. You can see where it's reasonably all packed in. So for example, I could walk along here. I wouldn't want to walk on here because there's rocks everywhere, but gotta there, that's where the edge of the hole was, or was it here? See, that's the thing. When you've done it right, you don't even know where the edge of the hole is.